Well, let me just pick you up on the election and exactly what happened, because I said it was controversial. You needed 55% to avoid a second round of the election. You got 56%, according to the Election Commission. But an independent coalition of civil society groups, National Election Watch, which has been looking at your elections for 15 years, they estimate you only got 50%. And also in some districts, there were reports there were more votes cast than there were registered voters, and the EU said that there was some mistrust around the electoral process. So just on the record, were you fairly elected?
Oh yes, I will win again if we went to another election. I've worked very hard for the country, and there was every evidence available even before the elections that I was going to win. The election was free, fair, and transparent. Of course, like I've said, elections are very contentious.
Even where we're speaking in New York, in the US, they're contentious.
Well, I mean, as we speak, I think even President Biden's position is still being contested. So elections everywhere. We are a fledgling democracy.
If you had less debt, would you put more money into education? Because that seems to be one of the landmark achievements of your government. 20% of the state's budget going into education. You've made schools free, both primary and secondary schools. Why has education been such a priority for your presidency?
It is the biggest weapon for transformation in the world. It is the best investment in human beings. It is the best thing we can do. If we are enlightened in the 21st century with fit-for-purpose education, a lot of our challenges won't go away, but we will reduce the impact on society. We are talking about inclusive development, leaving no one behind. That is why we have what we call the radical inclusion, meaning that irrespective of who you are, where you are, what political inclination you have, you should have access to education. It is the best weapon to fight poverty. It goes right across the 17 SDGs that you have named. And without money, we had the audacity to embark on free quality education, a national program. We used what we get from domestic sources, revenue. So if we had support, if we had relief, debt relief, we can pour all of that into education and into health and food security. Because for me, these are the three pillars that keep the human being going. If you have good health, good education, and you have food security, there will be room for development and little strife.
In January, Sierra Leone enters the world of big power politics, with you sitting on the UN Security Council for 2 years. How are you going to play it with regard to the various superpowers, particularly China? China has investments in Sierra Leone, yet on the other side you have the US and Europe, who you're friendly with, and they say, no, you should be on the democratic team. How are you going to play those different tensions?
We are on the democratic team already. We've had several democratic elections. I say I'm a Democrat.
Yes, but you have big investments with China, don't you?
Yes, but investments, one thing that we have not suffered from, China intervening in our democratic process. We need help from everybody. We need support, technical support. We need the friendship. We need great partners. And we need partners that we respect us too, that we treat us as nations that are yet, we are not 250 years into democracy. And therefore you should understand, when we stumble, we should not be punished as if we have committed murder. We should be treated as countries making a genuine effort to ascribe and take part in a process that is extremely contentious and difficult, democracy anywhere. So if you have done 250 years into that, and we are just 60 years into that, you should be handling us with some care, compassion, knowing that we are only at the beginning.